Welcome to another day in paradise. It is Thursday. As you can see, we got some gear oil, we got a diff cover, the drain plug sitting on top of it, and a gasket, some cigarettes. Okay, so since I had the Jeep, I don't know how recently it's been serviced. I'm going to show you underneath here. This is going to be kind of a how-to video, if you will. So basically what we're doing here is just changing the fluid. Nothing major. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at it. Basically the easiest way to get it off is to take all the lower bolts off and leave the main top one, and 2 to 3 at the top. I left the center one and the 2, took a hammer and smacked on it. As you can see, there's some silicone hanging down. You want to clean the surface. This is the most important part of doing this service, is cleaning the mate and surface for the gasket. It won't seal correctly if you don't. So I inspected the ring gear, pinion gear, my spider gears, all that. Everything's good. So you might be asking why are you doing this? Locker? No. I wished. Funds are not available at the time for that. So basically why I'm doing it is the diff cover was leaking at the fill plug, which it's a very common problem. So I mean, it wasn't like it was something abnormal. But I just felt that it was time that, I've never had the diff cover off of it. I've never put new fluid in it since I've owned it. So I kind of thought to myself, I said, well, it's probably due for a service. And the front one has fresh silicone on it when I bought it. So I assumed that they serviced it before I got it. Like I said, it had very, very fresh fluid, or very fresh silicone. As you can see, this is discolored and things of that nature. But basically, you just take them out. They're a 13mm bolt. Just take the bolts out. Pretty self-explanatory. The cover won't just completely fall off. You need to take a hammer and smack it to break that silicone loose. I'm going to use a gasket. I don't like silicone. I don't use silicone, nothing I have. I mean, that's just how I am. Neither right nor wrong, but that's my preference. Some people prefer to use silicone, and some would rather use gaskets, and I'm a gasket person. So the ring gear and pinion gear looks good. The fluid was in good shape too. It just had a leak. It's a cheap service, so not like there's a bunch of expense in it. But I got a really exciting upcoming couple days. I'm doing the headliner next. That's going to be in my next video. But basically, I got it's the RDS 55047. It's a Felpro gasket, as you can see. It's the rubber diff gasket. Walmart special 80-90 gear oil. I mean, it's an open diff, it don't need nothing special. Cigarettes, it's not a very aggravating process, so I might need 1 to 2 cigarettes depending on how bored you get. I cleaned this up. It was pouring from there, and it was dripping down from there, and so I cleaned it up. I bought some silver spray paint. I thought about painting my diff covers and my track bar and tie rod silver. So I'm honestly thinking, as greasy as it is, that I'm just going to put it back on the way it is. I think painting it was just a waste of time. So I probably won't even do that. So that's why I don't have my spray paint out here. I had a rag I used brake clean on it and clean the inside of it. It looks still rather dirty. I still got to clean the mating surfaces. Literally just got it off, and I got the grease off of the diff cover. But the number one thing that you need to remember when doing this is clean the mating surfaces. I know I should have cleaned them before I started the video. That way, you know, there's no confusion. You need, a little buddy here, it flipped up on his top. If you can read this, roll me back over, bruh. Need some help there, dog? There you go. Got him back on his wheels, and he's on his way. But sorry about that. But this thing does take right at 2 quarts. The way you fill them is the way you fill any other one. And on any other vehicle, if you're watching this with maybe like something that has a screw-in plug or a plug on the back of the pumpkin or the, you know, the housing, take the fill plug out first. Because if you can't get the fill plug bolt broke loose, you know, you'll have to buy a whole new diff cover, you know. So your $4 gasket and $8 worth of oil to do a quick service, a quick change, a freshening up has turned into having to buy a diff cover and another fill plug and or drain plug. You know, fill plug if it's on this. If it's on your housing and you can't get it out, just leave it alone. You know, I didn't know, my Jeep's been in some water, so I was really unsure if it had any water in the fluid. You know, it had not made any noise, but it was just leaking down here, and it was running down, and that's probably why this paint's coming off, maybe, I don't know. But it was leaking down nonetheless. So I said to myself, I said, well, if oil can leak out, water can get in. And that's usually a good rule of thumb. If you're leaking out oil, you know, water can get in it. So I said, well, I'll just check, which my fluid was good. It was, you know, the color it should be is a little dark, but, you know, overall it was in good shape. So, got the Felpro gasket and getting ready to put it back together. I'm going to clean the mating surface. So I just want to do a quick rundown. And when you put this on, you know, tighten in a crisscross pattern, you know, and seat the gasket, and don't start this one and torque it down and then this side, because I mean, you know, the gasket won't seat right and you'll leak around it. So, you know, I always tighten it up to the metal, tighten it up to the metal, tighten it up to the metal. And once I get them all run down to the metal, then I start back in the crisscross pattern. I don't torque mine. You probably should. They didn't have a whole lot of torque on them when I took them off, so not really going to put a whole lot of strength to put them back on. So once you get it on the Cherokees, you're going to have the rear brake line holder that comes down here. That's what this indention in this is for. Make sure you don't forget to put that bracket back on it. You should have a tag on these. It'll tell you your gear ratio, which I know mine's a 355. But mine didn't have the tag on it. I guess it's been serviced at one point in time and they didn't put the tag on it, and it's not in a glove box like the courtesy you should be doing. But anyhow, I got the build sheet from Jeep, and Jeep said it had a 355 in it, and you can count it. You can count it and all that and do the math, but not concerned about it on 31s, and still getting, according to my console, I'm getting 17, 18 miles a gallon, so I'm not really too concerned about it. So anyway, it's a very simple service. Once you get done, you know, put that back in, smack it with your hand, good to go. Like I said, I didn't have to have it. I just decided to do it anyway. So and if you clean with brake clean around the ring gear and pinion like I did, make sure you get all that out. That solvent will break down the fluid as it gets all the grease off. I mean, it got all the grease off the interior. So make sure whenever you do clean it out, make sure you run a rag underneath the ring gear just to get all the excess brake clean or whatever you're using to clean out all the old grease. So let it air dry for as long as you can. I mean, I'm gonna do this before I start the headliner. So anyway, I'm gonna get to cleaning the mating surface for the pan to the pumpkin, and put my gasket on and fill her up and be good to go. I guess that's all I got for this video. It's actually probably my shortest video at 10 minutes, so not too much rambling going on here. But thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, it's actually gonna go with like a 75 140. They say, you know, it's a little bit better for wheeling and stuff. And this Jeep actually just got her pleasure use only tag, so that's not a real thing. That's just me saying I'm not driving it daily anymore. It's gonna be the fun Jeep now, not just the daily driver slash fun Jeep. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it short here. Get this put back together. I'll start another one once I do the headliner, once I get it out. You know, I'm about midway on these videos. There's no point to doing a straight, you know, start to finish how to. I mean a diff cover, you know, doing this kind of service is not any kind of strenuous activity or something that's going to take too long. So another thing I want to point out, there's no way that you can put this on backwards. As you can see, you've got a raised hump here, and I'll lean it down at a different angle. You know, it's flatter here, and this is for your ring gear. So if you try to turn it upside down, you know, it won't fit. It only goes on one way. So, I mean, this stuff's dummy proof. You know, I don't know what they'll charge you to shop. I mean, supplies to do it yourself. The gasket was $4. That was $4 and something a piece. So, you know, let's say $8.50 for fluid, $4 for that. I mean, $12 service. I mean, you know, if you got your own silicone, you choose to use silicone. I don't like it because it's a bitch to clean up all the time. So I'm not putting more silicone on it. So I'm just gonna put the gasket on it. The gasket works just the same as well as the silicone does. So anyway, any questions, leave them in a comment. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, do all that fancy stuff for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, fellas.